You said on Stephanopoulos' show that government doesn't do certain things well, implying that it doesn't do health care well. Are you for eliminating Medicare?
No, I support Medicare and Medicaid, but I'm trying to make the point that all of the programs that the federal government runs in this area are bankrupt or on a pathway to bankruptcy. So we want to be careful about giving them any more authority or power because they've run into the ground everything they currently manage.
The overheads for Medicare are about 3%, while for insurance companies, the overhead of paperwork.
I wasn't referring to the overhead, I was referring to the fact that Medicare and Medicaid financially are on unsustainable pathways and they're going to go bankrupt. And so as we look at the federal government's track record of managing federalized health care programs, it's a very frightening track record. I support those programs, but we need to make sure they're in a form that actually is financially responsible.
What I'm saying is, aren't they more efficient than the private insurance companies?
Well, I don't believe the federal government running things is a model for efficiency. I think we want to empower consumers and individuals in a marketplace. There's lots of things we need to fix in the healthcare delivery system, including some aspects of insurance, but I don't think the answer is to give the federal government the keys to the operation.
You are doubtlessly aware that the Veterans Administration can do bulk purchasing of drugs in order to keep costs down, that they bargain as a whole for drugs to keep costs down. Why is Medicare prevented by the Congress from doing that? And shouldn't all government programs be able to do that, to really have leverage over the drug companies rather than just take their word that they'll cut costs?
Well, I think the Veterans Administration, and I think some other federal programs, state programs too, aggregate their purchasing power within a state or within federal government programs to try to get a bulk purchasing discount. But if you have so much power in the marketplace that you become a monopoly, that would concern people in terms of trying to protect a marketplace. So you have to make sure you don't do that.
So you're opposed to that, even though you want to cut costs, but you don't want to?
No, I think allowing the federal government and governments more broadly to purchase services and goods in the marketplace is a good thing, unless they are so large in the marketplace that they become a monopoly. And so we want to make sure we don't allow monopolies either.
Let me give you a foreign policy question then. On Helen Thomas's first question to Obama was about nuclear weapons in the Middle East. She said, does some country have nuclear weapons? It was an obvious reference to Israel, which has a massive nuclear arsenal that the United States so far has refused to acknowledge. Would you acknowledge it?
I'm sorry, I missed the middle part of your question.
Does Israel have nuclear weapons?
Well, I think that's a determination for Israel to declare whether they do or don't. If that's otherwise been established as a matter of fact, then it speaks for itself.
So, but we can make declarations about Iraq and Iran, and that's okay.
Well, I think that's not a matter of myth, it's a matter of fact. And so if there's enough facts to support that conclusion, then one can reach that conclusion. So as it relates to certain countries or individual countries, I don't think it's a matter of hopes or myth. It's a matter of, do you have sufficient evidence and facts to reach that determination? And if we do, we should speak the truth, and if we don't, then we need to say that.